Hello, my co-hives. Hope you're all doing well. I'm your host, Tyrannosenpai, and welcome to another episode of Tyrannosenpai Toy Reviews. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that carnivorous dinosaurs really sell. I think a lot more people find carnivores to be cooler than others, at least from what I understand. I could be entirely wrong. I won't deny, we have unboxed quite a few carnivores, especially from the RubberSaurs line. We've gotten, Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, Atrociraptor, and most recently, the Compsognathus. But not once in RubberSaurs history have we ever reviewed an herbivore. But that changes now, because I got a package here from Marco and Sora, once again. And of course, we're gonna open this bad boy up and see what we got. That almost hit me in the head. And now we have to gingerly remove the bubble wrap. It is glorious. I just wish it was standing. But here it is, folks. The RubberSaurs line first ever herbivore, the Pachycephalosaurus. You see what I mean? It's face planted on the back and the bottom of the package. It's actually kind of comical. For the first time in RubberSaurs history, we finally have an herbivore of some sort, and it's my favorite one. So I'm quite happy about this. So before we get old Friar Tuck out of the packaging here, let's go ahead and talk about said packaging. So it's basically the same as the one we saw for the Series 2 Raptor with the bright green background with the RubberSaurs logo over here. Series 2 collectible rubber dinosaur figure. The yellow caution tape along the bottom here with the Marco Mix logo. Pachycephalosaurus. Articulated figure, handmade in England, not suitable for children, for adult collectors only, obviously. And if you look, it also comes with a collector card that I'm looking forward to checking out. But on the back, it's really cool. Look at this. This Pachycephalosaurus box art looks incredible. Ted Brothers, who also runs the Jurassic Compound YouTube channel, so obviously go check him out because he does some awesome repaints and things like that. And also on Instagram, he has amazing toy photography. At the bottom of the box, we have Pachycephalosaurus is one of the most famous herbivorous dinosaurs. It is known for having a large bony dome on the top of its skull, which was most likely used during intraspecific combat. Although it wasn't a hunter, it was still a very dangerous and deadly animal. And you can see, the Pachycephalosaurus here running away from the InGen hunters with their modified Jeep vehicle thingies. And that's basically the packaging. And just like with the Atrociraptors, the packaging is pretty easy to open up. It's in a little plastic container here, and all you gotta do is just rip off the tape and pull it out. Why'd I clip my nails? And there he is, boys and girls. The RubberSaurs Pachycephalosaurus. Ooh. Oh, that rubber feels tough. Oh my god. That's really cool. Alright. So let's check out all the stuff we got in this. So as usual with any RubberSaurs release, you get 2 stickers, one with the RubberSaurs logo and one with Marco Mix. The business card with the classic Marco Mix insignia and some of the RubberSaurs figures. And here's the scan code in case you want to scan that, and also all the social medias where you can find him. A letter from the creator of the figure. And finally, a certificate of authenticity, which is kind of now the norm for all RubberSaurs figures that you buy from Marco Mix. What's new, however, number one, is that it looks like we got a Panini Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Rex logo here, which is kind of funny. I didn't expect to get this, but look at that reflection. Oh, that is so beautiful. And I think it's a sticker, but I'm not going to peel it off because that looks great. And the last new addition we got here is the new collector's card with some gorgeous art on the back. And on the front, we have the packaging that we saw on the back of the box, which looks, it looks great. I will say this card is tiny though, like, dear Lord. But it's so cool that we finally have collector cards in RubberSaurs. Now it almost feels exactly like Kenner, we just now need capture gear. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the RubberSaurs Pachycephalosaurus. And what a beautiful sculpt this is. That is 100% the Lost World Jurassic Park Pachycephalosaurus, and I love it. So first of all, looking at the head sculpt, look at the detailing on that. You can see tiny little scales and nodules around the face. You got these bony bumps on the snout here, and a nicely detailed dome on the top of the head, and the bumps on the back of the skull here, which look really cool. The beak is a nice blackish brown color, and you can actually articulate its mouth. It looks a bit weird when you do it like that though. There you go. It has a painted tongue, and the camera's not picking it up, but there are actually teeth sculpted in there. Like a majority of the figure, it's mostly this tan color, but here we have the teal and blue sort of patch around the eye, and that beautiful tiny eye is just a nice brown with a black pupil there. Moving on, we have a nice wrinkly texture to the neck, and we have this like off-white underbelly under here. And we can see, all the wrinkles and folds in the skin. If my camera will focus, please, thank you. And we have this nice ridging along the back here, along the whole length of the spine. We can see muscle definition along the sides. We can see a little bit of ribbing here. And look at those arms. I mean, look at that. Nice wrinkling and folding there. All fingers are painted. Now, one thing about this RubberSaur I should mention is that this isn't made how they normally are. This is 3D printed, and you can tell by the little lines of layering here from the printer. We also have these nicely sculpted legs, which are made of hard resin. We also have nice muscle definition here on the thighs and the calves here. And a continuation of that, teal and blue colors. We have beautifully sculpted scoots on the toes, the black nails, and the dew claws are painted. And then we have the long kangaroo kind of looking tail with a continuation of that tan and off-white underneath, and the classic blue and green kind of colors going down the tail. Now, before we continue with onto comparisons, it's worth mentioning that this is actually a new material that they use for these RubberSaurs. It's a type of rubber that is 3D printed, and this is actually very stiff, like really, really hard rubber. And what's also cool about this figure is that the head, like the dome, that's actually resin. The rest of this figure, aside from the legs, is all rubber, which is really cool. I don't even see like any seam lines to where the dome has attached to the rest of the figure. That's really cool. But yeah, there you have it. That is the new RubberSaurs Pachycephalosaurus. So let's take a look at some comparisons. And here we have the Pachycephalosaurus right next to the RubberSaurs Series 2 Compsognathus, which even right next to the Pachy are extremely small. Like, look at that. They're so tiny and cute. And here's the Pachycephalosaurus with the Series 2 RubberSaurs Velociraptor. Really would have been cool to see what would a fight look like between these two. I'm just saying. And here's the Pachycephalosaurus with the Series 6 RubberSaurs Atrociraptor Panthera. Now, I did want to compare these two because, like the Pachycephalosaurus, this Atrociraptor's head and feet are made out of resin. But with the Atrociraptor, those legs are very loose, and it's sometimes hard to pose them. I mean, it can still stand even after all this time that I've had it. But it feels very loosey-goosey sometimes, and it does have a habit of falling over if I don't pose it right on a shelf. Whereas the Pachycephalosaurus, the legs are so tightly pressed against the body that I can pose this in any position I want without fear of it toppling over. So they're very secure and snug, so it won't go anywhere. And I appreciate it. See, there's my point. And for one last comparison, here's the RubberSaurs Pachycephalosaurus right next to the RubberSaurs T-Rex. Again, absolutely dwarfed by this thing. Now moving on to articulation. The mouth can open and close. Although it does look a bit weird when you go like that far. I think this would look more comfortable. And of course you can move the arms, which are very stiff indeed. Very, very stiff. And of course the legs can move as well. So it has a little bit more articulation than Mattel's herbivores because this one can actually open and close its mouth. In short, for the first herbivore to be released for this line, the RubberSaurs Pachycephalosaurus does not disappoint. It is rubbery. The sculpt is 100% accurate to the one we see in the movie. I love that the actual dome is made out of, resin instead of rubber. Nice attention to detail there. I love that the joints for the arms and the legs are stiff so it can stay in place. And the new material is awesome. I don't feel like it's very fragile at all. It is very stiff, and I love it to bits. I'm very excited that moving forward, RubberSaurs, at least like these, will be 3D printed rather than handmade. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but man, this is perfection. And also, this has now opened the door to so many other herbivores. Gallimimus, Triceratops. My mom really wants to see an Ankylosaurus. Stegosaurus, oh man, that would be my personal favorite because I used to have a Lost World Stegosaurus that had the battle damage where the plate would come off. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what other herbivores we'll be getting here soon. Because, again, carnivores sell, but herbivores are pretty cool too. So that is gonna have to be the end of the review. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. All my links are in the link tree in the description down below. And until next time, this is Tyrannosepi signing off. Alright then, take care now. Bye-bye then.